Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real, something simple, and something powerful. 2026 is just 1 month away, and most people still don't realize what that means. A new year isn't just a date change on the calendar. A new year is an invitation, a reminder, a wake-up call from God Himself saying, hey, you've got another chance. What are you going to do with it? See, everybody wants 2026 to be their year, but wanting it ain't enough. Wishing ain't enough. You can't drag the same excuses, the same bad habits, the same people holding you back into a brand new year and expect a brand new life. Your life don't change unless change. A new year doesn't change your life. Your habits and decisions do. This is one of the hardest truths people struggle to accept because it's so much easier to believe that time itself has magical power. People think that when the calendar flips, something inside them will automatically shift. They think January 1st is a reset button, a transformation button, a miracle button. But the reality is the clock can strike midnight, fireworks can light up the sky, people can yell Happy New Year all around you, and you can still wake up the next morning with the same fears, the same doubts, the same excuses, and the same lack of discipline that held you back the year before. Nothing changes until you change. Nothing improves until you improve. Nothing grows until you grow. If your habits are small, your results will be small. If your decisions are weak, your progress will be weak. Success is not handed out on a schedule. It is earned through daily choices that shape who you become. Think about it, the most successful people in the world aren't waiting for a new year. They're not sitting around hoping for a perfect moment to start. They know something that most people overlook. Momentum is created by consistent action, not by a date on the calendar. If your habits are lazy, your new year will look exactly like your old year. If your mindset is still filled with self-doubt, your opportunities will pie just like they did before. If you keep choosing comfort over growth, your life will stay stuck in the same place. The calendar doesn't save you, discipline does. The date doesn't elevate you, decisions do. Your life changes the moment you stop lying to yourself about why you haven't changed already. You can write resolutions, set goals, and talk big dreams all you want, but if you're not willing to build the habits that match those dreams, none of it matters. A dream without discipline is just a wish, and too many people spend their entire lives wishing instead of working. You've got to look at your habits with full honesty. What are the routines you've allowed that keep you average? What decisions do you keep making that bring you frustration instead of fulfillment? What actions are you taking every day that move you closer or further from the life you say you want? Because every habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. If you want to become stronger, you have to vote for strength every day. If you want to become wealthier, you have to vote for discipline every day. If you want to become wiser, healthier, more focused, more successful, you have to vote for those things with your choices, not your wishes. A year can only give you time. It's what you do inside that time that gives you results. People waste years waiting for the right moment, when the right moment is always right now. Waiting is the enemy of progress. Excuses are the enemy of growth. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you want 2026 to be different, you have to enter it as a different person. That transformation starts with one decision, the decision to take responsibility for your life. Stop blaming the year. Stop blaming the timing. Stop blaming the circumstances. Stop blaming what happened in the past. The year is not stopping you. The situation is not stopping you. The time is not stopping you. The only thing stopping you is the story you tell yourself about why you haven't started yet. Change the story and you change your life. Build new habits and you bet a new future. Make better decisions and better results will follow you everywhere you go. You want a new life? Then build it. brick by brick, habit by habit, decision by decision. Because when you change yourself, every year becomes your year. Start preparing now. Momentum starts before January 1st. Most people misunderstand success because they believe it begins on the first day of the new year, like some magical door that opens at midnight. But nothing could be further from the truth. Success doesn't wait for a date. Progress doesn't wait for a calendar. Opportunity doesn't wait for January. Everything you want in 2026 begin the choices you make in the final days of 2025. Every bit of discipline, every small improvement, every moment and effort you put in today becomes the momentum that carries you forward. People who win in the new year don't start on the new year. They start before it. They prepare while others procrastinate. They build while others are complaining. They get ready while others are still giving excuses. The difference between someone who thrives in the new year and someone who barely moves is simple. One person treats preparation like a lifestyle, and the other treats it like a last-minute emergency. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You rise to the level of your preparation. When you enter a new year with no plan, no clarity, no discipline, and no momentum, it's like trying to run a race from a standstill while everyone else already has a running start. Think about athletes. They warm up before the game. They prepare before the fight. They don't wait for the whistle. They get their bodies and minds ready ahead of time. Why should your life be any different? If you want 2026 to be your breakthrough year, you have to warm up now. You have to stretch your discipline now. You have to get your mind sharp now, because when the new year comes, it's not giving you extra strength, extra time, or extra talent. It's only giving you a fresh page, and the way you write on that page depends entirely on how ready you are when the year begins. Preparation creates confidence. When you prepare, you walk differently. You think differently. You operate with purpose. But when you avoid preparation, life always feels stressful, overwhelming, and chaotic. A lot of the anxiety people feel about the future comes from being unprepared for it. They keep putting off decisions, delaying improvements, ignoring their responsibilities, and hoping things will magically sort themselves out when the new year comes. But life doesn't reward hoping. Life rewards preparation. When you start getting ready early, you start feeling behind. Momentum builds slowly at first, but once it starts moving, it becomes a force that pushes you forward, even on the days motivation runs low. Preparing now can be as simple as getting your environment in order, cleaning up the clutter in your life, organizing your goals, removing the distractions and habits that drain your energy, and deciding who you refuse to be anymore. It can be deciding that you're done waking up without a purpose. It can be committing to one routine, just one, that moves you closer to your goals. When you prepare early, you teach your brain, your spirit, and your habits that you are serious. You tell life that you're not just waiting for blessings. You're preparing to receive them. And God responds to preparation. Our blessings don't come to confused, unprepared minds. Blessings come to people who are making room for the life they want. Momentum is the secret weapon of successful people. They understand that it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing something consistently. You don't need to overhaul your entire life before January. You just need to begin. Start winning today. Start learning today. Start waking up earlier today. Start believing bigger today. Start making sharper decisions today. If you take small steps now, you'll walk into 2026 with a fire in your spirit instead of fear in your heart. Momentum means you won't be starting from zero when the new year arrives. You'll already be moving. And once you're moving, everything becomes easier. Discipline feels lighter, goals feel clearer, success feels closer. Starting early means you give yourself the advantage most people never use. The new year is not the beginning of change. It is the continuation of what you start right now. Remove the people and distractions that block your growth. Because no matter how strong your intention is, you cannot rise in an environment that constantly pulls you down. Most people never reach their potential not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they are surrounded by the wrong influences. You cannot elevate your life while staying connected to people who are committed to staying the same. Some of the folks you care about don't mean you harm, but they don't mean you progress either. They are comfortable, and comfort is contagious. When you're around people who never challenge themselves, you start lowering your own standards without even realizing it. When you stay in environments filled with negativity, gossip, laziness, or small thinking, it becomes harder to think big, harder to stay disciplined, and harder to move forward with purpose. Your environment is shaping you every single day. The conversations you allow, the habits you tolerate, the energy you surround yourself with. All of this becomes the atmosphere in which your success either grows or dies. If you want 2026 to be a year of growth, you must protect your space like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. The wrong environment can kill your confidence, drain your motivation, and blind you to your own potential. You can have dreams bigger than the sky, but if the people around you don't believe in anything beyond where they are, it'll make you feel like your dreams are impossible. And if you hear that long enough, you'll start believing it too. Sometimes the barriers to your growth aren't enemies. They're friends, coworkers, or even family members who simply don't understand the path you're on. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to cut them off completely, but you do have to manage how close you allow them to your mind and your energy. Your peace is a priority. Your growth is a priority. Your purpose is a priority. And anything or anyone that consistently distracts you from becoming the best version of yourself cannot have unlimited access to your life. You owe yourself better than that. You owe your future better than that. And let's talk about distractions, because they come in many forms. Some distractions look harmless. Scrolling through social media for hours, watching other people live their dreams while ignoring your own, checking your phone every few minutes, wasting your mental energy on drama, comparing your progress to someone else's timeline. These things might feel small in the moment, but small distractions repeated daily into major detours in your life. Every minute you spend distracted is a minute stolen from your goals. Every hour you waste on things that don't matter is an hour stolen from the life you could be building. Distractions don't just slow you down, they derail you. They weaken your focus, drain your discipline, and rob you of momentum. Growth requires sacrifice. You cannot become who you're meant to be while clinging to everything and everyone that kept you who you used to be. You have to be willing to walk away from noise, from negativity, from people who only take and never give, from situations that drain your spirit. You have to be willing to say no to the things that feel good now, but cost you the life you want later. You have to be willing to disappoint others if it means staying true to yourself. Your destiny cannot be negotiated with people who don't share your vision. When you remove what blocks your growth, you create room for clarity, creativity, and progress. You start hearing your own thoughts again. You start believing in your abilities again. You start feeling your energy return, not because life suddenly got easier, because you finally made space for your purpose to breathe. Protecting your environment is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot step into an extraordinary future while surrounding yourself with ordinary influences. To rise higher in 2026, you must first clear the space around you so your spirit has room to rise. Your setbacks didn't stop you. They shaped you for what's next. Every challenge you faced this year, every moment that broke you, every disappointment that shook you, none of it was meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you. Sometimes life has to let you fall so you can see what you're truly made of. Sometimes God has to close doors because you're trying to walk into rooms that are too small for the person you're becoming. You might not understand the pain while you're in it, but when you look back, you realize every struggle carved a new level of strength inside you. The things you thought you were actually shaping you into someone who could handle the blessings coming your way. People often think setbacks are signs that they're failing or that life is against them. But you don't grow during the easy chapters. You grow during the storms. You grow when you have to rise after falling. You grow when you have to figure out a way forward with tears in your eyes and doubt in your mind. The moments the most are often the ones that transform you the most. No champion was made without pressure. No diamond shines without being cut. No strong person became strong without being tested. So if life tested you this year, it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Think about all the things you survived. Think about the nights you didn't think you'd make it through, but you woke up anyway. Think about the situations you thought would break you, but they didn't. Something in you kept going, something you refused to quit. That something is strength. That something is resilience. That something is God reminding you that your story isn't over yet. You came through things that would have destroyed somebody else. You overcame storms that should have drowned you. You picked yourself up when you had every reason to stay down. Don't you dare doubt the warrior you've become just because you had a rough season. Setbacks are not the end. They're instructions. They reveal what needs to change. They redirect you to where you're meant to be. They show you who belongs in your life and who doesn't. They teach you patience, humility, courage, and gratitude. Every setback carries a lesson, and when you understand the lesson, you elevate. That heartbreak taught you self-worth. That disappointment taught you patience. That failure taught you resilience. That betrayal taught you to trust your instincts. Every painful moment left behind a piece of wisdom you didn't have before. Most people misinterpret struggle as a sign to stop. But struggle is often a sign that you're close. The harder life pushes you, the closer you are to a breakthrough. The enemy doesn't attack someone who isn't carrying something valuable. If you faced heavy battles this year, it's because you have heavy purpose. You're being shaped for something bigger than you can see right now. Pain sharpens you. Failure strengthens you. Delays protect you. Nothing you went through was wasted. Every chapter had a purpose. And here's the truth. If your life stayed comfortable, you would stay small. Comfort keeps you where you are. Struggle pushes you to grow. The version of you that enters 2026 cannot be the same version of you that survived 2025. Your setbacks have been shaping you into someone wiser, stronger, and more focused. Someone who can handle opportunities you once weren't mature enough to carry. Someone who can lead, speak, build, love, and believe on a level you never could before. You are not behindhand. You are not defeated. You are being shaped. Everything you went through was part of your development. Every tear watered your growth. Every loss made room for something better. Every delay was divine timing. The pressure wasn't there to crush you. It was there to transform you. And whether you believe it or not, you are walking into the next season of your life stronger than you've ever been. God gives opportunity, but you must put in the work. This is the part many people don't want to hear, but it's the truth that separates dreamers from doers. God will open doors for you, but He won't walk through them for you. He will give you ideas, but He won't develop them for you. He will give you strength, but He won't lift the weight for you. He will give you vision, but He won't chase it on your behalf. Life is a partnership. God provides the potential, but you provide the effort. Too many people sit around waiting for miracles while ignoring the work required to receive them. Miracles don't fall into the laps of people who stay still. They show up for people who move. You can pray for success, but if you're not willing to grind, sacrifice, learn, grow, fail, and get back up, then the opportunity will pass right by you. God can't bless laziness. He can't reward excuses. He can't multiply something you're not willing to plant. When you take the first step, He adds favor. When you commit to discipline, He adds strength. When you push through fear, He adds opportunity. But He cannot help someone who refuses to help themselves. Faith is powerful, but faith alone without effort is empty. You can pray for a harvest, but if you're not planting seeds, there will be nothing to reap. Every person who achieved greatness didn't do it by sitting still. They believed, but they also worked. They stumbled, but they also stood back up. They prayed, but they also prepared. God will give you the tools, the gifts, the timing, and the chance, but He expects you to use all of it. That's the deal. If you want the blessing, you must be willing to handle the burden that comes with building. You can't just want the reward. You must be willing to embrace the responsibility that comes with it. When you start putting in the work, even in small steps, you activate something powerful in your life. You start showing God that you're serious. You start showing yourself that change is possible. You start moving out of the lane of wishing and into the lane of doing. That's when the opportunities increase. That's when the ideas get stronger. That's when the right connections show up. Work creates momentum, and momentum attracts blessing. God responds to movement. He responds to action. He responds to people who take their potential seriously. Some people think they're waiting on God, but the truth is God is waiting on them. He's waiting on them to stop making excuses. He's waiting on them to release the bad habits that keep holding them back. He's waiting on them to stop wasting time and start using the gifts He placed inside them. Your gift wasn't placed in you for decoration. It was placed in you for activation. You were born with the ability to do more than you think. But that potential stays locked inside you until you put in the effort that unlocks it. And when you work, something else happens. You build character. You build discipline. You build grit. These things matter because they prepare you for the blessings you're asking for. Some people want success, but don't have the habits to maintain it. They want big opportunities, but don't have the responsibility to carry them. They want abundance, but don't have the mindset to protect it. When you work, you grow. When you grow, you become someone who can handle the weight of the success you've been praying for. So don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. Don't wait until the year changes. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Work now. Build now. Move now. God will meet you where you are, but He won't drag you to where you refuse to go. He already put greatness inside you. Now you must show Him you're ready to do your part. 2026 will only be different if you walk into it as a stronger, disciplined, focused version of yourself. A lot of people think the new year is some magic doorway that transforms them the moment they step through it. Like there's something supernatural about January 1st that instantly turns their life around. But the truth is, if you walk into the new year with the same mindset, the same habits, the same fears, and the same excuses, then the new year will simply become a continuation of the old one. You can't expect a different life while being the same person. Change happens when you decide it's time to grow, not when the calendar decides to flip. You have to prepare yourself for the life you claim you want. You can't bring the old you into a new season and expect better results. That version of you, the one who procrastinates, the one who doubts themselves, the one who lets fear stop them, the one who keeps saying one day, that version cannot lead you to the future you dream about. You have to elevate your mindset, strengthen your spirit, and build discipline that supports your goals. The life you want requires a version of you that you haven't met yet. To reach new levels, you must become someone new. Growth is not optional, it's mandatory. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not motivation, because motivation comes and goes. It's not inspiration, because inspiration fades when life gets hard. Discipline is what makes you show up, even on the days you don't feel like it. Discipline is what helps you stay focused when distractions surround you. Discipline is what keeps you grounded when your emotions try to pull you off track. If you want 2026 to be different, discipline must become a daily part of your identity. Not something you use when it's convenient, but something you live by. And real focus is a superpower in a world full of noise. There are distractions everywhere, from people, from social media, from negativity, from your own doubts. Focus is what allows you to ignore everything that isn't connected to your purpose. Focus sharpens your decisions. It gives you clarity. It saves you time. It keeps you moving in the right direction. Without focus, your energy gets scattered, and scattered energy cannot build a meaningful life. You can be talented, gifted, and blessed, but without focus, you'll keep starting and stopping, getting excited, and then giving up, dreaming big and acting small. Focus brings consistency, and consistency brings results. You must also walk into 2026 with a stronger mindset. The mindset you have today was built by everything you've seen, been through, and survived, but it might not be the mindset needed for where you're going next. A new level requires new thinking. You cannot think like a victim and expect a victorious life. You cannot think like someone who is limited and expect unlimited opportunities. You cannot think small and expect big outcomes. Strengthening your mindset means believing in your ability to learn, grow, and adapt. It means replacing self-doubt with faith, replacing fear with courage, and replacing excuses with responsibility. It means realizing that your thoughts shape your reality, so you must choose thoughts that lift you rather than weigh you down. Walking into 2026 as a stronger version of yourself means letting go of the habits that limit you. It means breaking cycles you know are holding you back. It means refusing to repeat patterns that kept you stuck. It means saying no more to the things that drain your potential. You can't carry old baggage into a new chapter and expect the story to be different. You have to release what no longer serves you. You have to rise above your weaknesses. You have to commit to becoming the person your future needs you to be. 2026 has the potential to be the year you rise, the year you transform, the year you finally step in the life you've been dreaming about. But that version of the year will only happen if you show up as the version of you who's ready to claim it.